It is so great talking to my next guest, Robert Whittaker, who's got his rematch against Israel Adesanya coming up here February 12th, UFC 271. Rob, how's it going, man?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's good to talk to you, man. I wanted to start first with the fight actually happening. Was there ever a point you thought this might not happen, getting this rematch? Because I don't remember the last time a former champion had to fight 3 contenders just to get a rematch.
No, it wasn't something I was paying attention to, honestly, because after the loss with Izzy, I was happy to change things up, reinvent myself, have these fights, get in there, do my job, and just keep perfecting the game the way I have been. And I've enjoyed the ride.
Izzy did an interview recently, and I just want to read the quote here very quickly. He says, "At the time, I think that he's acting out of character. I also said he's not being himself. People kept saying what a good guy he is, but trust me, he's not. You don't see the behind the scenes, and now he's admitted it was his ego that got the best of him. Well, I told you so you should have listened to me." What do you think of those comments about him saying that, that you're not the same guy we see in these interviews and everything else?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like don't get ego and egotistical mixed up, right? Like I think ego. Every fighter has ego, and it's like I'm not pretending to be anything that I'm not. I think he's getting confused the difference there, but it doesn't bother me. Like people know who I am. By now, people would have seen a mask if I was wearing one. Don't have a mask. I'm very proud of my skill set and how good I am, and yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think that's just gamesmanship on his end, or do you think he's actually, like you said, confused there?
He's definitely confused, but it could be gamesmanship. Who knows?
Okay. I mentioned the 3 fights since your first encounter with Israel. Where do you feel like you've improved overall in your skill set heading into this rematch?
I've definitely improved my skill set. I'm very happy. I've been trying new things and just broadening. It's not that I've been broadening my skill base because I've always worked those angles. It's more like I've been going in there experimenting with my other skill sets and giving different angles and posing new problems, and I've had a lot of success with it. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Is there a different approach to this rematch? I remember one of the things you talked about going into that first fight was, you kind of felt a bit burnt out. You had this hernia issue and, you were champion and there was all these expectations. Is it a different mentality going into the rematch?
Oh, yeah, because I'm a different person than I was then. I'm a very different person then to now. And, that in itself is just going to pose a very different fight.
Where do you feel like he's improved since you guys have both fought? I don't know if you watch any tape or that's something your coaches do. Is there anything you sort of look at in terms of the first time you fought compared to now?
It's hard to say. Like, I think he's a very good fighter. I think obviously that's a very hard question to answer because I don't look at him looking for improvements. I'm trying to look at the opposite areas to exploit, areas of opportunity.
Is there anything different for this training camp as opposed to some of your other ones leading into this fight?
No, because if I had trained harder or did something different, then that means the other fights I wasn't giving my 100. And I keep the same consistency. I give 100 for every fight. Every fight that I participate in, I always give my all. So I look, yeah, it's just another day in the office.
Well, it's like that quote, right? If it ain't broken, don't try and fix it. I mean, you won your last 3 fights, so I imagine not many changes there. Who have been some of the main training partners for this camp? Who have you really been working with leading into this?
Yeah, my team certainly. So working with Kevin Valley Wrestling and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Sweet and Grange. That's where I train out of, and I'm very proud to train out of there. All the boys there have been helping me out for the fight, not just this fight, but every fight. But I've been doing a lot of sparring with some other guys like Tim Zoo and whatnot, and been boxing with Johnny Lewis, which is great. And yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you pay attention to this or not, but I just took a quick glance at the betting odds heading into this fight. I believe Izzy's almost a 3-1 favorite. Does that surprise you a little bit?
Nah, he's beat me once before. It'd be silly for him not to be the favorite.
Okay, well, just because you won 3 in a row, you look good in all those fights. I don't know. Figured maybe the odds might be a little bit closer, but we'll see. And if I'm not mistaken, this is your first time fighting in Texas, correct?
Correct.
Are you worried at all about the judging? Only because I believe it was like a year ago we had that card in Texas, or a year or 2 ago, and there's some really bad scorecards. I know you probably plan on finishing this fight, but is that something that's crossed your mind at all?
No, I haven't really given it a thought, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. And who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
So my corners are going to be Alex Prats, Brian Doyle, and Charlie Bushwati, and my old man.
That's awesome. And without giving away game plan, obviously, how do you envision the fight playing out on February 12th?
It's too hard to say. You know, two guys, top of the level. We're going to have to adapt and react to each other's games. Both of us are going to be trying to execute and counter the other fella's game. So, honestly, I'm gonna just get in there, try to utilize my full skill set, and make him uncomfortable.
Will we see some wrestling? I know you talked on Submission Radio saying, Izzy's a tough guy to get down there, but will we see a bit more of a versatile game heading into the rematch?
If it presents itself, I will, 100%.
I know the focus for you is always on the fight in February 12th. Have you sort of gotten any indication that the winner of this fight will fight the winner of Jared Cannonier and Derek Brunson?
Haven't thought about it.
Okay, no worries. Who would you favor in that fight? That's obviously on your card too.
Probably Cannonier, to be honest.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I don't know if you caught this, but Kamaru Usman had an interview recently saying that had Jan Blachowicz won his fight against Glover Teixeira, that he was going to skip middleweight and go right up to 205 pounds. What do you make of that? You're a guy who moved up weight, not two weight classes, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I believe it when I see it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if he actually would do it. Do you think the UFC would let him, though, to move up two weight classes? It's one thing to move up one weight class, but two seems a little much, don't you think?
Depends if there's money to be made there, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree. Before we get out of here, I saw on your Instagram some fan made a Doom Eternal photo of you. Which fan did that? I want to give them credit because I thought it looked really cool.
I'd have to go have a look at the tag. It looks phenomenal, though, doesn't it?
It does. When are they? Now, probably the most important question in this interview: when is that getting made into a T-shirt? I think you got to do it. You got some good T-shirt designs, but I think that one's got to be right up there too, right?
Yeah, that looks phenomenal. My kids absolutely love it. They keep saying I look cool.
Did you ever play the original Doom game, like the old school one? You know which one I'm talking about, the 16-bit one?
Yeah, but I didn't have a lot to go on it.
Okay, because I was going to say, would you ever come out to the Doom theme song? Because I think that would be awesome.
No, I wouldn't.
Are you getting in any barbecue in Texas while you're here? Or is that after the weight cut, or maybe even after the fight? I guess because I know you're still cutting weight.
Yeah, that's after the fight. I can't. Yeah, there's no time to be had. You know, maybe I'll nibble a little barbecue after the weigh-in, but not much. I have a system.
It looks like Amanda Nunes and Juliana Payne are going to coach the Ultimate Fighter. And would you ever want to get back there and do it?
It's challenging coaching like 20 other people. A lot of personalities in it, and it's a short amount of time. It's something that I would look past, but I'd have to seriously think about it before I did it.
Is there sort of an ideal timeline for you to fight throughout the year? Like, a lot of fighters like 3 fights. Does that kind of work with your schedule, or do you just sort of take it fight to fight?
I like the schedule of 3 fights. They usually works for me. My whole mentality has always been, if I'm healthy and ready, then I'll fight.
What's downtime looking like? Again, I know you're doing some media. You've got a lot of other things going on. What are you doing when you're not training during fight week? Like, what are you like getting up to?
Just playing video games, mate. That's all I've been doing.
Is it Doom, or is there something else you playing? What have you been into?
I've been smashing Fallout 76 a little bit.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun. Been hopping on there, been able to socialise with some mates while I'm on there. But other than that, a little bit Dark Souls as well. There's,
Oh, so good variety. Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I don't know if because some people are like a one video game person, but it sounds like you like a variety of things, which is awesome. So
a little bit, yeah.
Let me ask you this: has the video game streaming, playing, and all that helped your trash talk game at all, or is it still how it is? Because I know you don't like talking a lot of trash.
I can talk trash with the best of them, but I do it. Like I do it in good humor, you know what I mean? I do it to take a laugh and to take the piss out of someone, not to like actually insult them and get in their head. I don't want anyone to feel bad, I don't want my trash talk to make you feel sad. That to me is just, we're playing games. There's no point.
Now, have you ever had it where you're playing with strangers online, and did they ever realize that you're Robert Whittaker of all people? Because I think I'd be a little intimidated if I was playing against you, regardless of how good I was at the game.
Nah, not really. I've had some good moments where I've met people and they've realised somehow, but not opposites. No.
Rob, thanks so much for doing this. I know you got a bunch of media to do today. Is there anything you want to plug before you get out of here? Sponsors, social media, you name it. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I have a great amount of sponsors and support group that has helped me through, long term. They help me put food on my table when I'm not fighting. But my team down at Gracie's Meat and Grange they got me ready for this fight and every other fight. So thank you, boys. Look to come home soon.